In the days of Israel's distress, when the Midianites ravaged the land like locusts, the people hid in mountain caves and dense forests, their hearts trembling with fear. Among the afflicted was Gideon, son of Joash, quietly threshing wheat in a winepress, hiding for fear the enemy might steal even this meager harvest. At this moment of weakness, an angel appeared, calling him not by the name others saw, but as God saw. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon, startled, protested that he was least in his family, from the smallest clan. Yet God's calling was sure. Gideon would deliver Israel. The first act God required was not one of public battle, but of private obedience. In the secrecy of night, Gideon snuck into his father's courtyard, trembling, and toppled the altar of Baal and the Asherah pole beside it. He built an altar to the Lord on the ruins, using wood from the Asherah for the sacrifice. When morning came, outrage swept the town. "Bring out Gideon! He must die for desecrating Baal." But Joash, his father, declared, "Let Baal contend for himself if he is a god." So Gideon was henceforth called Jerubbaal. Let Baal contend against him. Yet Baal remained silent, and Gideon lived, the name bearing witness to the powerlessness of idols and the supremacy of the Lord. As God's Spirit came upon him, Gideon summoned Israel to take up arms against their oppressors. Still, the shadow of doubt loomed. Gideon laid a fleece on the threshing floor, asking for dew on the fleece but dry ground around. The dew came. Yet uncertain, he reversed the test. "Let the fleece stay dry while dew covers the ground." Again God obliged, patient with his servant's weak faith. Now sure of God's promise, Gideon gathered an army, 32,000 strong. But God declared, "Too many, lest Israel boast, my own strength has saved me." First he sent home the fearful, 22,000 departed. Then at a stream, those who lapped water with their hands were kept. Only 300 men remain. That night, to calm Gideon's nerves, God sent him to overhear a Midianite recounting a dream, a barley loaf tumbling into the camp and overturning a tent. The dreamer's companion replied, "This can mean nothing but the sword of Gideon." Faith flamed in Gideon's heart. Under cover of darkness, Gideon divided his 300 men into 3 companies. No swords in hand, but trumpets, empty jars, and torches concealed within. At the signal, they blew their trumpets, smashed the jars, and exposed the blazing torches. Shouts rent the night, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" Confusion and dread seized the Midianite camp. The enemy turned their swords on one another and fled in terror, pursued by Gideon and all Israel. Without sword or spear, but by faith and obedience, the Lord wrought a great deliverance. From that day, Gideon bore both his names: Gideon, the hewer of idols; Jerubbaal, the man against whom Baal could not contend. He became a leader not by strength, but by courage and humble trust. God calls us not according to our measure of strength, but in accordance with his purpose, making his power perfect in our weakness. The Lord is with you, mighty warrior.